I really hope this is starting to work because this is getting insane. I've had this. I've been working on this all morning. The internet stopped, the router stopped, the computer crashed. Wouldn't work with the other one, so hopefully it's working. So if you see this running, please let me know if it's running. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to myself because my service really is not doing well today. Hey, Steven, nice to see you. Again, just say, yeah, yes, Mark, it's working, so I know something's going on there. Oh, we can see you. Can you hear me, though? Because I'm on a 6 or 7-year-old computer. All right, good. I'm glad it's working. So Jocelyn's good. Today's Jocelyn's birthday, so she's out and having a good time. She might stop up later. So we have that. I just want to get on here to say thank you to everybody for all your support over the years and over the last month or so. We've been having a good time traveling. Did a lot of stuff in the U.S. When we were in Connecticut and D.C. and the Outer Banks, North Carolina, Memphis. We were in Canada and we went to Vancouver and all kinds of stuff. So we do have a fun time. I'll let Jocelyn know about all your birthday wishes, everybody. Thank you so much. Someone was asking about, yeah, can we hear you? We can hear you. Yeah, Argentina. So we had planned, we were going to be in Buenos Aires for the final because I thought it would be Argentina and Brazil in the final. So I thought we'd be in Buenos Aires for the final, but alas, not happening this time. So I do apologize that we won't be able to see that. That would have been awesome because about more than that, a few World Cups ago, I was in Argentina when they were playing it. I was in Brazil when Brazil was playing in 2006, and it was a good time all around. So we kind of miss out on those things. So hi everybody in Iceland, Alaska, all kinds of places that we're going to be visiting again. Hey from southern Sweden, good to see you. So what are some questions you'd like us to talk about? I have some topics people have sent in, but I thought we'd get some of your questions first. So someone wrote, hey, sorry I couldn't get a shirt heading to Memphis and wanted to pick there. We do have shirts. There's a link somewhere. It just, go to woltersworld.com/shop and you can get some of the shirts. We're going to have new shirts coming out at the end of the month. We're going to do like the quarter zips I usually wear in the videos and like some other stuff like with collars, like nicer things, stickers, not keychains, but the luggage tags. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. So we're going to work with that. Can I see your toenails? You don't want to see my toenails. I've been gone for 3 weeks. I need to get my pedicure for that one. So, I'm glad thank you for wearing the shirt in Thailand. That's really nice of you. Somebody asked what's the longest flight I've been on. My first really long haul flight was actually the LA to Sydney flight, and that was for the first really time flying. That was quite the flight. So everything else has been kind of short since then. So the person that said the campaign would fail. There's 2 shirts I guarantee we'll print. It's only going to be available till next Monday, the 9th of July, and it's this one with on the front with the hello fellow travelers on the back. That one will go, and then the one that has the little Wolters World logo right here. Those ones I guarantee will print, so order those. The one that just has the front, I have a thing on that says don't order those. Go check those out. So we do have that coming. Yes, I'm 25. That's correct. We've been on our last trip. We just got back from visiting the East Coast of the U.S., so I can do that. Can I fly my drone in Europe? People flying drones need to be careful because there are rules and laws about that. So do be careful because I know we were in a national park, and you can't do that in a national park in the U.S. And some places are kind of like, that's not good, and you can't be like, oh, I didn't know, ha ha ha. They might take that stuff from you, so be careful with that. My favorite town or city to visit in France, well, obviously Paris is my favorite overall. But there are some really great places. Strasbourg, I thought was a really great place to visit. The beautiful buildings, nice stuff to see there. Rennes, which is kind of between like Normandy and with the beaches in Paris, that's a really nice place. Bordeaux is really nice. Avignon, for me, we spent Christmas there, and I've gone there a few times. That's really, really nice. Somebody asked if we're going to visit Lebanon. Yes, we are. We're trying to set some stuff up for down there, so we got all kinds of really cool stuff coming. So we got all kinds of things to check out, like future trips that we've already booked. We've got Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Jamaica, Belize. What else is there? Cuba, Florida. Hey, Morocco. We're going to Morocco. We're heading back to Portugal to go there. What else do we have? I have to look. But those ones we already have booked. All those are already like that. The flights are paid for, so we're going. So we got some of those stuff there. Oh, Kansas City as well, because I like we're trying to get some more U.S. stuff out there because we've seen a lot of people have been really happy with those. So that's kind of cool. So some people ask me, all right, Mark, they're waiting for an update on Vicenza. I'm glad you guys like Vicenza, Josh. It's a cool place. Um, someone's asked about Africa, if we're going to be going there. Yes, we're doing Central East Africa next summer. So we're going to have be there for probably a month or two, checking out there. So any advice you have for there would be really cool, because Jocelyn's want to go to Rwanda forever. So now we got the chance to go. So we're going to go there and maybe go over to Kenya and Uganda and see that. So anything is great there. Renzo's asked where we're going next. Well, we're heading down to South America next, so we have that coming for us. Thank you, Gabby Controller. You need a TV show. I appreciate that. We have actually interviewed for a couple of them, but nothing's ever really panned out. But I'm glad we get to do what we do, because I think we get to reach more people being online and stuff, because then people can just grab it on their phone and go and not wait for a show to show up. So we have something more there. So then also we can be more honest here, because I'm going to guess on TV you have to tone it down. Every place has to be great. It's hard to really say what's right or wrong. I know when we've had people asked to work with us, we tell them, look, we're going to talk about the good and the bad, and they're like, no, you must only talk about the good. I'm like, well, that's not how the real world works. So there is that. Someone's asked, is Cuba safe? We're going, and there's issues anywhere you go, so it doesn't really matter where you are. Just be a smart traveler. Check up on the advisories on the State Department, and they give you an idea what you should look out for. Texas, hey, we had a good time down in Texas. Hopefully I'll get back down there. Another place, someone asked about Wales. We're taking the boys. Liam's actually never been to England. He's been to Scotland and other places, but he's never been to England. So we're going to fly and visit the western counties, and we're going to over to hopefully get into Wales as well. So hopefully we'll see that. Somebody asked about Beijing and Shanghai. I actually taught in Beijing a few years ago, and we had a really good time there. The pollution is a serious issue, so do be careful with that when you do go. Tisme here says TV may be too edited, no real opinions allowed. Yeah, that's one of the things you'll see with online, is you get a chance to express more opinions, some good, some bad, but that's kind of how it is as it's there. Let's see. They're coming by so quick. They're going by so quick. What is the number one thing to do and not to do in New York? I would say number one in New York, don't forget to bring some good shoes, because you're going to walk so much, because there's so many sights to see in a row that you're just going to walk, and your feet are going to die. So don't bring bad shoes. Don't buy new shoes and take them. Make sure they're broken in. That's one of the things I really want to tell you about. Someone asked, Paul Kamulski asked, how about the Canadian Maritime Provinces, New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island? Are they worth going for a visit? Yes, they are. We took a family road trip up there a few years ago, and it was awesome. So much nature out there, so much to see. It's it's a nature trip. So if you're a nature person, you're going to love it. If you're not a nature person, there's some villages and stuff to check out, but it really is much more of a nature kind of place like that. Noah asked, have you been to Vietnam? No, but we were putting together our Southeast Asia trip, so we will be getting Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, probably throw in Singapore around there. So we have all kinds of big trips coming up. It's just that sometimes it's tough to get the bigger trips going, because we want to make sure the kids can go too. So we're kind of limited with that Christmas, the winter vacation, and the summer vacation, and then the spring breaks. And I don't want to do Vietnam in a week, in 1 week. I want to have some more time there. So we are going to get there. We're getting all these things there. Hey, Renzo in the Philippines, good to see you. Nice to see you there. Do we have a video on Yellowstone? No, we do not have a video on Yellowstone, but we will be getting out there. We're trying to figure out new things to go see, because we've kind of seen a lot of the places, and people are like, well, you do too much of Europe. You're doing the same places. Like, well, we really like them and we know them, but we are branching out, so we will be getting more places out there. So Cheryl writes, my 16-year-old son was just in Lucerne and took your advice to get to the blah, blah, blah. He loved that he's bringing home caramels from Normandy region. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad our videos can help a 16-year-old or a 60-year-old or a 26-year-old or a 106-year-old to travel. So that's really cool. Do you smoked weed while traveling? I don't. I don't do any drugs. I've never smoked cigarettes or anything like that. It just, to all their own, I just don't. So I haven't done that. I do know a lot of travelers that have done that. That's why if you watch our Amsterdam videos and Holland videos, we'll actually talk about, I don't do it, but if you do it, you need to know these certain things, because there's been some really, really bad stories. I actually have been, roofied kind of stuff where people have slipped stuff in my drinks before when we've been traveling, and it's a scary thing. So, you really got to be careful with that kind of stuff, okay? Yair writes, are you going to the World Cup finals? I wish, but like the American team, didn't quite make it this year. So maybe next time. So we do have that. What's your favorite state in the U.S.? That's a tough one because the U.S. is really, really varied where you go. So if you like, like California is cool with the coast and the mountains and stuff like that. But then, you go to Georgia and have the history and those kind of things there and the mountains up in there in Athens and stuff. So there's all kinds of really good states. There. Next, he beats the Don'ts of Australia. Don't worry, we're getting there. We will have that. Thank you to Liz. I appreciate that. The diet it's coming along slowly. I'm getting better at it. The exercise is going well. I'm feeling better, so that's really nice. Some other things. Have you ever visited? Have you ever talked about the different social media platforms for the countries you visit? Well, Randy, that's actually one that I used to talk about. I used to be on a lot of different social media platforms, and I saw that since about 2010, really it is the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram kind of stuff is pretty much everywhere, except if you're going to like China, you might have QQ or Renren or Weibo or something like that. Youku, you have other things, but since those are such limited platforms you can do from the U.S. versus from China, and my Chinese is non-existent, so I've kind of stuck with some of those there. Where's my wife? She's wandered around the house. She's getting ready. It's her birthday today, so I'm taking this one on my own. She might pop in later, but she's enjoying her day. Veg Sanity, come on, 400,000 subs. I was hoping we could get to that today, so I could be like, hey, we got 400,000, but we didn't quite make it. They've slowed down a little bit here in June. I think the World Cup, a lot of people are watching the games. I know I've been watching the games, and so people aren't watching as much, which is okay. But I know the games are slowing down. There's fewer games now. More people are going to get ready for their vacations. So I do hope our videos can help those people. Chattanooga. So we got Tommy Dodson from Chattanooga. Actually, if you're ever in Tennessee, you go by Chattanooga. You got kids. Their children's museum is awesome. We're definitely worth checking out and stopping there. Though if you're driving, they have a highway that takes a left turn where you're like, oh my God, I want to drive into a mountain. So do be careful when you drive through Chattanooga. Yes, Yair, R.I.P., rest in peace, Argentina. I was hoping to party with them, but anyway. Any other things? Any plan for Bora Bora or the Maldives? Well, Jocelyn's mom actually wants to head out to the Pacific, so Jocelyn might be going with her mom next year to Bora Bora or Fiji or something like that. So there is that. I don't know if I'll be able to get out there because I'm worried they'll be like, oh, well, they'll be like, you're too bright and shiny with the sun bouncing off your belly. So who knows? Let's see. Okay, so Lawrence Law asks, how old were your boys when you first started to travel overseas with you? The youngest one was actually born abroad. So he was born in Portugal, and at 6 weeks we were on a road trip to Spain. Okay, there he is. So this guy, when he was little, so when he was a baby, he was born in Portugal. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Thank you. I don't have a cut there, but I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up? You want to say hi to people? Say hi? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, you're being really crazy. All right. Well, let me get him. So, good. Say hi to Mama for me, okay, buddy? Okay. All right. I'm glad you like that. Sorry about that. Liam has found the joys of the first aid kit, so I'm going to make sure we have to really repack that up when we go on our next trip. So we do have that. Let's see. Please don't start using IGTV. Oh, Instagram TV. Some people ask me about Instagram TV if we're going to do something on there. We might put some stuff on there, but with the format and how we work on it, I'm not sure if it's really going to work, but we might have some stuff. But most of our stuff is going to stay on YouTube. Now, we are on Roku, and you will see us on Apple TV. Our own channels on there, so there is some of those things. There is that. Is my wife foreign? No, her family's Greek. She's half Greek, and so that's why some people ask that a lot. So she has that, like her Greek cooking. I mean, I've put on, let's see, 50 kilos, 100 pounds, like quite a few stones since we got married because she's such a fantastic cook. Anyway, back to the questions. Janet K. Do you like the Eurostar? Yes, the Eurostar from London to Paris. I've used that quite a few times. These Eurostars in other countries and stuff. I mean, fast, efficient, usually on time, so that's nice. Emmanuel always says, I always mistake you for Mario Batali. That's actually something when people ask me, they're like, hey, do I know you? I never say, yes, of course. Well, they're like, you look like that actor or the cook. And there's the other one.
Hi.
Hello. My children are getting beaten up here. Is that just a fake one?
No.
What happened?
Liam.
Oh, he faked it?
He hit me.
Anyway, I'm going to have to deal with this in a little bit. Can I help you in a sec?
Yeah.
Since it looks like the makeup you had on earlier.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't? It doesn't?
Come on, Leo.
All right.
Wait.
Did you hurt your brother?
No.
Oh, that's just fake. Okay. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. You're scaring the people. You're scaring the people. See, the boys are having a good time.
Let me do an uppercut.
Hold on one second. Boys, let me help these people. Here, actually, if you guys want to... Here. Okay, boys, these two have questions for you. All right, so, one. There's no Band-Aids left in my house. So, what do you guys like to do for fun? What do you guys like to do for fun? Liam, what do you like to do for fun?
If I'm grounded.
If you're grounded. Pedro, he likes to go play with his buddy Pedro. That's his favorite thing to do. Okay, I'll put it back on. Go, get out of here. Go. Go. Go help your brother. Go help your brother. Yes, I love you too. Yes, he's a camera hog just like his daddy. Anyway, Liam, control. Okay, go check on Mom for me. Okay. Okay, help me with him. Thank you. See, they're both being very helpful today. Anyway, back to the question. Will Liam be watching the Portugal match? Yes, that's why we're doing this between the games, so he can watch the Portugal match, so he can see his people, and he can cheer for Ronaldo and stuff like that. How do you support your traveling financial expenses? Honestly, those commercials that run before the videos, if you don't know this, YouTube, if there's any commercials before the videos when you watch, those people get like 0.00001 cent like per view, and actually it adds up. So it actually helps people, helps YouTubers to actually make some money to help offset the costs. So that's where a lot of our stuff comes from, is just from the ad revenue from that. We haven't done Patreon yet. We probably will be doing Patreon to help support stuff, because a lot of the trips we want to go on are beyond our means, beyond YouTube payments kind of stuff. So hopefully we can get some more stuff there, but we're working on it. So we do have that. So Lawrence writes, okay, so Lawrence, back to your question, as you see my kids have grown up, that the littler one, he started when he was 6 weeks old. He went to Spain. He was born in Portugal. And sometimes you got to lock them out. As every parent knows, sometimes they got to lock that door. And so he's been traveling since he was 6 weeks old. Caleb was about 6 months old when he first started traveling. But we go all the time. And the thing is, people will tell you, don't travel. How could you travel with your kids? We get people that are like incessantly mad at us for traveling with our kids. I'm like, it's a chance to share our family experience. So we can talk about these things, because otherwise, what am I going to talk about with them? I mean, well, there's stuff we can talk in school and stuff, but it's really nice. And we have a chance to do like multi-generational families trips when you're traveling with grandparents and stuff. It really is a nice thing, because now they have more than my kids love cooking, baking cookies with my mom, but they also have, oh man, grandma, remember when I had my first bratwurst and in Germany you were there and stuff like that, or remember when we were in China together? You have those experiences that really bring families together. And so Lou, I would definitely say go, and 1 or 2 year old to France, you're going to be fine. You have a good time. People there are really friendly. It's just the Parisian waiters give them a bad rap, the French people, but the French people are fantastic, and their tourism could really use some people coming, so that would be really nice. Anyway, beer culture in Europe versus North America for the travelers that haven't made it to Europe yet. So in the U.S., we have much more binge drinking, where people just like, let's just knock it back till we pass out. If you're like in Western Europe, Central Europe kind of stuff, drinking's more of a common thing. It's not like, oh, I'm 21 now, I can drink. It's more integrated in the family, so it's not as much binge drinking. It's more social drinking. So there's a very different kind of vibe to it. Shake says, our son is 7, has been to 15 countries, and looks forward to the next one. Awesome, Shakes. Tell your son we said hey and good job, and keep up the traveling. Jeremy writes, first time to Paris, we're staying in the 10th arrondissement. We have plenty of videos on Paris. They're going to give you plenty of advice. I think we have a Shocks, Love and Hates, and a Don'ts of Paris. And watch the one 10 things like what to know before you go to Paris. They give you some really good ideas and stuff. That's going to help you out quite a bit. So Ubik writes, hey, they're going a Baltic tour. Do you suggest maybe a 1-day trip to Helsinki as well? Yeah, because you can take the ferry over. It's like 2 hours. So just go in the morning, spend the day there, and then come back to Tallinn. It's worth it for the day trip, yeah, for sure. I mean, you get another country, you have a nice time, see the Finns, and do those things. So it's kind of nice. Don'ts of Norway. I will get back to Norway, but the thing is, I only film these videos on location. So unless I'm in the country, I can't do that. So I need to get back to Iceland to read the don'ts of Iceland. I've got to do the don'ts of Norway because I didn't have those when I was there. Don'ts of Denmark. We have a lot of places we're going to be going. Natalie asked, "Hey, have you ever been to Israel?" I have not been yet, but we are going. We've started doing the research and putting the stuff together to go there. So it's either going to be, I think it'll probably be like a 10-day trip there. So we do have that. Cheryl asked, "Where do you live?" We live in the U.S. We teach kind of by Chicago, so if you're wondering where that is, it's like in the middle of the U.S. So we have that. How did you plan your first trip? How did I plan my first trip? I don't know. Because I studied abroad, like twice in high school and twice in college, and did my master's abroad, my PhD abroad. So it's really hard to say like I'm planning trips kind of stuff. My first trips probably was backpacking with my brother. When we were really on our own, it was kind of like, well, I'm going to be studying here, so afterwards, let's figure out the cool cities we want to go to, and we kind of based it off of that. And back then, there wasn't the internet, so it's kind of like, well, what do we think we're going to spend? We had to do a bunch of research and look up books and go to the library and stuff to get ideas. So we had some numbers out there, and it worked out okay. Oh, hi from Maryland. I just drove through Maryland the other day. Really pretty to drive through there. Most dangerous moments in your travels. Let's see. Well, there was a couple times we got shook down by cops. Once in Russia, got shut down at the border between Argentina and Paraguay. But that wasn't, I mean, I wasn't so worried. I was just nervous. There was one time we were driving I was in Guadalajara late night, and I was skinny with long blonde hair and about 17 and sitting in the back of a truck driving around town while people were chasing us because it was, people were trying to be funny, but it got a little scary at times. But it ends up being a really fun experience. That was when I was really scared at the time because I remember a taxi driver pulled up and was like, "You all got to get in our car now because you can't be here." That actually happened to us in Brazil too a few years ago. This is before Jocelyn and I were together, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, dude, I spoke Portuguese, so we were talking, and the guy's like, "Man, this is not a good part of town. You guys need to get out of here." I'm like, "Well, this is the tourist part." He's like, "Yeah, but it's Sunday. You just come with me. It's totally fine. Here's he gave us a ride around everything." So it was interesting. So there's been a few times there has been some scary moments. There has been I was flying one time into Caleb's painting his face now. There was one time when I was flying back from the Canary Islands. So, see, Caleb was working on his makeup. Oh, that's actually not bad. Not bad. He's doing good. So Jocelyn got them the Halloween makeup set. So he's been practicing. Yesterday, I think he was the Ultimate Warrior. And today, he's got beat up by the Ultimate Warrior stuff. So there is that there. So it is pretty... There's always fun with the kids. Some other stuff. Have you ever visited an African country yet? I've been in Tunisia in the north, which was awesome. It was a great experience. I do recommend people going there. It is fun. We're going to Morocco later this year to see that, and then we're going to head down to, like I said, East Africa in the summer, taking the kids down there and have a good time and see some stuff there. New Brunswick, Canada. Hey, we were there a few years ago. Had a good time when we were there, so that was cool. No, we don't live in New York City. We're kind of far from there. We're in the Midwest, in the middle of the U.S., so we have that. Hey, Geneva, Illinois. I've had a lot of students from Geneva, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, perfect for Halloween. Here, go in close and show them. Like, you got their cameras right there. So what do you think? Does it look like he's a tough guy? Huh? So we're gonna be going. South Africa's a little bit farther out because our first trip to Africa is going to be Central Africa. Then we're going to do a South Africa one probably the year after that. Yes, Kayla does have an Outer Banks shirt on. We just got back from there. I figured, hey, you got to get the OBX shirt when you're there. I actually have a sticker on my computer, the one that I actually use. The computer I'm using is like 6 years old because everything went crazy with our internet today. So, yeah, when Comcast is on your street, it's not always a good thing. Other stuff. How do we like North Carolina? North Carolina is actually, it's really interesting. If you're in the U.S., most people don't think about going to North Carolina, but they have what are called the Outer Banks, or these like barrier islands on the outs off the coast, which are gorgeous. Be careful of the riptides; it can be dangerous, but it's just gorgeous there, and it's really developed for vacationers to go there. So that's really cool. Then on the other side of the state, you've got Asheville up in the mountains where the Biltmore Estate is. It's like castle-like structure kind of thing, estate, which is really neat to go see. But Asheville is just gorgeous with the Rocky, or not the Rocky Mountains, the Smoky Mountains are there. The Blue Ridge Mountains are up there, and they've got really great beer when you do go there. It is really worth visiting. That's what we try to do. Is now we're trying to get more. Where do normal people people in the U.S. go, like, for their vacations. So that's why we had Outer Banks. We've got Austin, Texas, and New Orleans, and Memphis and stuff, and going to go to Kansas City, and then some other places. Going to do some more stuff from Chicago, so you have that. The Swami! Mitakulo. How are you? Of course, I'll give you a shout out. Let's see. Have I ever been to Turkey? I've only flown into Turkey, and then we've been to North Cyprus. That's the closest we've been, but we are going to get there. Don't worry about it. We will get that. Istanbul is on Jocelyn's must list and mine too, so we will be getting there. Let's see. How many hours of research before booking a trip to a new location? Jose Pereira. So when we do new places, I will do a lot of research. I mean, I do books, I do online. I'll post questions to our fans and on here and ask, hey, what do you think? And that's what's cool is we have so many people that are really wonderful fellow travelers that'll write and say, hey, Mark, check this out, or hey, don't maybe see me. That's why sometimes you'll see me like post a picture on Instagram or something with a fan or something, or not a fan, like a fellow traveler that we'll bump into. Like, yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I was like, well, let's meet up. And so I've met some really awesome people just that way, and they've given me some really cool ideas. So that is nice. Nito asked me, do you like Cancun? I do like Cancun. Yes, it is a vacation destination. Yes, it is a tourist place, but they've done such a nice job, and I do enjoy it. And especially if you go like in February, which is like after the Christmas rush is left and before the spring breakers come, you get like the great weather and the nice people and without all the travel, so that's really nice, okay? Let's see. Have you ever been to Capri, Italy? Yes, I've been to Capri a number of times. We've walked the island. We've gone to the Blue Grotto and had them singing to us and all those kind of things. So it is a neat thing. Here's one that says, I'll be in Ostrava in the next few weeks. I was in Ostrava a long time ago. Some of my friends went to school there, and we had a good time enjoying ourselves. This is back when I was in school, too. So we had a good time when we were there. What is Capri? Capri is an island off of Sorrento, off of kind of Naples in Italy, which is really kind of cool. What's up? Nothing. Okay. I can't, I'm scared they're going to come up and get me. Let's see. Let's see what are some other questions we have. Do I miss traveling pre-2001? There is a big difference between pre-2001 and today in terms of travel, in terms of, the biggest thing for me, they talk about security, but it's just the amount of time it takes to go travel places. It's not just I can just walk up and get on the plane. With all the security and checks, it's added hours onto the travel to make it safer and stuff like that. But I would say compared to like 2004 to 2018, 2018 is much more pre-2001 than 2004 was. So there are some differences there. Let's see. Okay. So one person wrote, hey, social media is an amazing tool. We just did Eastern Europe and hooked up with a craft beer tour guides in Belgrade and Budapest, showed us around. And that's what's cool. You will find some really cool guides out there. That's one thing I really enjoyed is you have this, with the online, it's easy to find guides that are pretty good. And, read the reviews. Anytime you're doing a guide or an Airbnb or any of those things, make sure you review everything you can. Okay, because you never know what they like or what they don't like, or if they are good or not good. We've had some interesting Airbnbs, we've had some interesting guides, some good, some bad. But I know, like the one we stayed at, 2 weeks ago. The reviews on it were like, oh yeah, they came and checked in on us every day. It was so nice. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how nice it was. I was like, well, that's nice, but it seems kind of weird that they're checking up on you on a rental every single day. You want to show them?
Yeah.
Let me finish the story and I'll tell you. But what was weird is I was inside working and the next day we were doing stuff. We were visiting Boston and they called Jocelyn and they're like, hey, you should know that there's no smoking in the house. We're like, well, we don't smoke. So she's like, oh, it wasn't you. You were outside with your son, to Jocelyn. You were outside with your son playing wiffle ball and your son was inside working. I'm like, how do you know that I was inside working? I don't even smoke, and it was really weird. It was like they were like spying on us, which was kind of strange. And now that I read through some of the reviews of the place, it's kind of like they were very attentive and like they checked in on us every day. It's like more they're checking up on you, which is kind of strange. So do make sure you can read those things. Because anytime you have a VRBO or Airbnb, any of those things where people reviewing each other, I don't want to say anything bad because then they might give me a bad review, and therefore the next place won't rent to us. And so you have this kind of really tough thing. So make sure you read between the lines when you do some of these sites. Okay, so be careful with that. So Matt asks, have you been to every continent? No, we have not been. We got to get to Antarctica, so I got to get there, and we'll probably do a like Patagonia, Southern Argentina, Chile, Antarctica trip in a few years. When the littlest one's probably about his age, so about 11, 12. So. Well, so Cindy asked, they watched you on camera. What creeps? I don't know if it was with cameras, but I guess they were outside or something. But it was just really, it made it very uncomfortable the next few days we were there. So we're like, okay, that kind of really took it off from us. So let's see. Yes, I haven't visited Serbia yet, but I will be there next summer. They won't be with me. I'll be there by myself. I'm going to be teaching in Vienna, and so I have some time off. So when I have my time off, I'm going to go over to Serbia for a little while to check some of those things out. Yes, we do like ramen. We've eaten it very much all over the world. Actually, Jocelyn makes a thing we call mama noodles, which is made with ramen, and the boys love it. That's kind of one of their go-to things. So we are that. Ionis asks, where are you at the moment? I'm in my office in my house. So there's my office. So it's very small, but it's at least something there. Do you find Buenos Aires boring after a few weeks? I don't know. When I was there, I studied in Buenos Aires long ago, and I had a really good time, really enjoyed it. I think anywhere you go can be great, any place you go can be boring, so it just comes with stuff. Don Travis says, hi, Caleb.
Hi.
Hi. So there's that. Do I have any advice for moving to Paris? This is advice for anybody moving abroad. Realize that most people either go one or two ways. They either stay with expats the whole time or they fully integrate. And I try to do both, but I always find that when you try to fully integrate, you have a better experience. You get to know the culture better, and you're meeting people that are going to be there longer. Because a lot of expats are in for a 1 to 3 year kind of stint, and so you don't get as tight as a friendship, whereas the people that are going to be there, and if you're going to be there for a long time, if you build those relationships, it makes it a lot better. So find things you like to do and join those. If you like the gym, join the local gym. If you play video games, find a video game club or something like that, just so you can kind of find somebody to attach to the people. Oh, Caleb wanted to show you his drawing of Homer Simpson, or is that me? I can't tell. There we go. Very similar, though I think Homer has a few more hairs on his head than I do, so we do have that. Let's see. So Yuli wrote, would you recommend my daughter to study in Germany for her undergrad? Actually, I would. I did my master's in Germany. And one thing I would say, if you're going to go there, if it's any kind of business kind of stuff, there's a lot heavier emphasis on mathematics than in like the US or something like that. And I know when I got my master's in Germany, that people really respected that. Like German degrees are really highly respected. It's like US degree, German degree, UK degree. There's some places that have a much like more oomph behind their names. So I would say that was cool. Oh, they say your drawing is nice. Ask Caleb, what is your favorite country you've ever visited?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. And then, what are some countries you like?
I liked Iceland, and Germany's okay. I don't have a lot of favorites.
Doesn't have a lot of favorites. Do you have any? Yes, we like those. So there is that. Thanks, Don. Appreciate that. We appreciate it. And anybody that does the super chat, we really appreciate. Yeah. See, answer the question. There you go. See, you're teaching him, Don. You're teaching. So it does make a difference. Every little bit helps. So thank you very much. So someone wants to know, like, what's a cheaper place to go in the U.S. as a freelancer? I would say, like, for stuff to do and see, the Southeast, Midwest and Southeast, Texas, those are, like, your cheaper places to go. But, like, with stuff to go see, if you're going to freelance and like, whether it's to go see sites as well, probably the Southeast is your best bet. The West Coast can be really expensive, and the Northeast can be very expensive, so that can really help you out there in that way. Let's see. April writes, can you talk about how you apply to university and academic careers abroad? Actually, when you apply for universities abroad, it's just like applying in the U.S. or in other countries. It's the same, fill out the forms, write some essays. Maybe they have some test scores you have to have. But the thing is, sometimes they have specific test scores. So like SAT, ACTs in the U.S. or GMAT, stuff like that, those kind of exams are becoming more common around the world. But some of them don't have that. Some are like, well, we want to know your grades, and you got to get it translated into German from English and stuff like that. So it can be a bit tough. So there are those things. So Aiden asks, have you been to China? Yes, I taught in China a few years ago. Kayla's been there. Any advice from China? Do you remember? It's been a while.
No, I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
Any advice for people going to China?
I don't know.
Don't know. One thing I would say, if you're going to go there, Get the breathing mask. So you might need it, you might not. But if you're going to be like in Beijing or something like that, the U.S. Embassy actually has a air quality index on their site. Check that out. And if it says don't go out, don't go out. Okay, so that's one thing. But I would say it's great. The Chinese people are super wonderful and friendly. And like when it's smaller groups, when it gets to be like a big group of people, it's kind of like it's a herd mentality. It's like okay, and it rushes through because it's amazing when you're trying to take the subway in some of these places. It's like mad rush to get in and fighting to get in. But once you're in, like oh hi, how are you? It doesn't matter that I just ran over your foot, but hey, how are you doing today? So it's kind of funny. So Melissa Flores asked, any tips for traveling to Morocco? I'll let you know because we're going later this year. So we have that. Travel to Rome or Paris for a few weeks, better stay in a hotel or rent an apartment. If you're going to go long term, I always recommend getting apartments because, it will save you a lot of money versus the hotels. And also, you get to go and experience more of the real culture. So you'll be going to the hotel or you'll be going to the grocery stores and stuff like that to see what life is really like versus I'm in a hotel that gives me everything I need. So that's kind of interesting. Hugh writes, is Uruguay worth visiting? I really like Colonia, Ciudad del Este if you want to go see, or no, sorry, that's in Paraguay. The coast there is nice too. We're actually going to be heading down there later this year and filming some stuff there. So if you have patience, we'll have some videos out for you there. So you would have that. Let's see. Any tips for new YouTubers? For new YouTubers, I would say is find what your voice is. Like whatever you're passionate about, that's what you should make your videos about. You know, because if it's not you, don't do it because people will see through the false stuff. I mean, if I started doing travel videos with drones flying around all the time and me doing backflips into the pool and say, hey everybody, let's party, you're like, dude, that's not you. Stick to who you are, and that's going to be helpful. And also, make content that you'd like to see. You know, people make content, we think what they want. It's like, no, if you're selling to people like yourself or talking to people like yourself, talk to them. That's why, for me, I want honest travel advice. I want people that if you're going to be traveling with my kids, I want to have a good time with them. I'm going to by myself, I want to have good advice. And so that's where I really focus. It's like, look, I'm going to be honest. No, I'm not sexy. I know, it's shocking.
I got a new high score.
And Liam's got a new high score. But it's really focused on that group and develop content for them that's nice and helpful. So there are those things. What do you think about Provence and Alsace for a photography trip? That's actually really beautiful. Man, if you get to Nancy, because there was a Polish king that moved there, his daughter, anyway, there was a Polish king that really did up Nancy great. I mean, there's amazing stuff to see in the countryside, but the countryside in Provence is top notch. And when you're going around Provence, you could go from like to the Côte d'Azur, the south for the coastal regions to lavender fields. I mean, it is just really cool. So I would definitely recommend that. Costa Rica, have we been there? Yes. You loved it. Yeah, we all loved Costa Rica. It was a really good time. Fantastic people. Pura vida. Have a good time when you are there. Let's see. The kids' ones, they've already talked. Liam, what was your favorite place you went to?
Mexico.
Liam likes Mexico. Liam's a huge Mexico fan, so he's already said he'd retire and move down there. Michael asks, is seeing Hallstatt in Austria worth it? Yes, it is. It is gorgeous. You don't need a ton of time there, but it is one of those like nice, relaxing, my goodness, where am I? This is like another world kind of place because it's this cute town on a lake with mountains. It's just gorgeous. Whenever you see like one of those like uber fantasy world, Austria pictures of Europe, like old world Europe stuff, a lot of times that's the one that pops up, okay? Do you want to go to Africa? Yes, we're going to go. We're going to Central Africa next summer, and we're going to North Africa later this year, so we are going to get more stuff from there. So we will have that. So Planet writes, could you get a lot of Krakow and Auschwitz in one day trip? It's going to be tough. You're going to have to like rush through stuff. You could see a lot of the things, but if you spent the night there, I think you could get everything you really wanted to see. But if it's just like getting in from like Warsaw on the train and spending like a few hours there, it's going to be tough to pull that one off. If you have your own transport, maybe, but be careful with that. The Swedish Traveler, have you ever been to a festival? I've been to Oktoberfest. I've been to Carnival in Venice. We've been to Carnival in Brazil, all kinds of stuff. So we've been to a few of them, so there is that. Have you ever been to Chile? Yes, I went a few times back when I went to school in Argentina, way back in the day. And we will be going there again probably in a couple of years. Like I said, when Liam's about his age, so like 4 years from now. Probably going to look to do the southern part of Patagonia and with Argentina, Chile, and Antarctica, so we'll have that. So the salt mines in Krakow are kind of cool, Josh, so we're checking out. But today is actually Jocelyn's birthday, so I have this little video to try to get some stuff to help you guys out. We'll answer a few more questions, but I just want you to know we really appreciate everybody picking up the shirts and stuff like that. If you want to grab one, woltersworld.com/shop. You can grab one there, and and it's really, we really appreciate it. It's really cool when people send us the pictures in, and I'll post a video whenever I can get the other stuff to work of some of the latest video of our fans or our fellow travelers wearing the shirts that have sent in to us. So send us in your pictures so you can share with people because it really means a lot. So thank you for that. I will tell Jocelyn happy birthday from everybody. Thank you. My favorite place in Malta is Medina. That was really cool. That was really cool. The old capital there, and you go through the city. It's really a fantastic place. Eat the rabbit when you go to Malta. It is just, oh, it's so good. Oh my God, it was so good. So good. Pula in Croatia. Pula's actually nice. I was there last year. It was pretty fun. It's definitely worth visiting. I think Croatia's, though it's popular with people, I think it's kind of underrated because there are so many great things to see in Croatia. And all throughout the former Yugoslavia, there's a lot of really good stuff. I mean, I've only been to Montenegro, Croatia, and Slovenia. And so next year, I'm hitting Serbia and hopefully get to Bosnia too next year. So we'll have that. So we'll have some fun stuff. Anyway, I got to take off. Leavenworth, Washington. I thought I was going to Leavenworth, Kansas. My mom graduated from high school there. Arizona, we had a good time. We went on a family trip to Arizona a few years ago, and we had a really nice time when we were there. The Grand Canyon was cool. I had both of them in the back of the bike, like riding up with that. That was kind of tough, but it was a fun time. Anyway, hello from Peoria, Illinois, not too far from where we're at. So good to see you there. And let's see. So last one, Reverend writes, Mark, I don't speak German, but I'm going to Munich and Nuremberg this summer. Do you think Germans are going to be rude with just speaking English? No, the Germans know that not a lot of people speak German. They're pretty cool about it. But I would know like hallo, which is hello, and then danke is thank you, and bitte is please, and you're welcome. So it's nice in 2 words. And so just know a few of those things, and people appreciate it. And that's anywhere you go. If you speak a little bit of language, you don't have to be fluent. Just a few words makes a huge difference. So you'll have a good time. And yes, I have been to Romania. I went there like right before we started making these videos. So that's why I don't have any of them. Like I was just there. We started making these. So anyway, we'll let you go. We'll let you say, Dad Master, what do you think about making a gap year with an organization? There's a lot of volunteer organizations that you can go and travel around the world and help people out. That would be a really cool thing. So I hope you have a good time with that. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody. Have a good time. Have a good summer traveling. If you have any questions, just write us, and we'll help you out. And we'll see if we can get the internet to work again here for the rest of the kids, because that's why they're bothering me, because I can't get the Wi-Fi to work again. And so I'm sure anybody that has kids knows how that goes. Bye. See you later. Thank you. Great travels. And we'll try to do one of these in a couple weeks when I got the internet and everything working again. And we get Jocelyn here to start, because now the dog's barking and I'm getting tapped by the kids. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye.